Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I have a little bit of a review slash first impressions of the brand new L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation. Now this is so interesting to me. I have never tried anything like this and I was so excited to give it a try, especially on camera because then I get to share my experience with you guys. So the L'Oreal True Match Cushion is inspired by a Korean makeup trend that's kind of been making its way around, and that is to put foundation inside of a cushion or sponge and use that as your method for housing it and sort of applying it. And brands have done this. There's been one from Lancome, Laneige, a few other brands, and L'Oreal is now jumping on the bandwagon, and it's so exciting because you can try the trend out and kind of see what you like. The Lumi cushion is available in 8 shades in Canada. I know there's more shades in the US. I don't know if those shades will be coming to Canada, but for now there are 8 shades available in Canada. And those shades are separated into warm, neutral, and cool tones, just as the regular True Match foundation. So if you're a certain color in the regular True Match foundation, you should be the same corresponding color in this foundation here. The closest shade that I could find to my skin tone was W2. So that is the shade that I tested out on camera for you guys, and you will see it in a little bit. I do really love that they have the same system for this foundation as they do for their other foundations, because it just makes it so easy to pick the right shade for you, and I think that that is fantastic. And I've always loved that L'Oreal has done such a wide range of shades, so I really hope that they do bring this to this collection. The Lumi cushion retails for $24.99 Canadian, and yes, that is quite pricey, but L'Oreal is one of those brands where they're not quite drugstore and they're not quite high-end. They're sort of in the middle, and L'Oreal uses higher quality ingredients and higher quality technologies to bring you a product at a relatively inexpensive price. The packaging itself is gorgeous. I love the rose gold and the kind of like Moroccan print sticker. I think it's absolutely stunning, and I think that this is one of those products that you can kind of put on your vanity and looks really beautiful. Okay, so I've already primed my face, and I've only used a hydrating primer, so nothing with any sort of luminosity or glow or mattifying properties, because I wanted it to be priming but not affect the foundation whatsoever. So I have the shade W2, which is the lightest shade that I was able to find, but I believe there is one lighter. There are 8 shades in total, ranging from warm tones, neutral tones, and cool tones, just like the True Match foundation. That is my absolute favorite. So when you open it up, you have a little mirror in the top here, and then you have your sponge for applying the foundation. They recommend that you use this sponge, but you can use a brush or a beauty blender or whatever you want. I'm going to use this just to try it out and see how it goes. It's actually a really nice sponge. Like typically the sponges you get in foundations or palettes or all those sort of things are kind of cheap. This one actually feels really nice. It's soft and it's like feels cushy. It's really nice. And then once you open up this little part where the sponge sits, you have a seal here that keeps the foundation fresh. And then once you peel the seal back, you have your cushion. And the cool thing about this is an actual cushion. This is not just like foundation sitting in here. This is a cushion that has been soaked and completely filled with the foundation. So it is squishy. I'm not going to touch it because I just did my nails. How pretty are they? And so the product is firmly saturated inside of that cushion or sponge, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so the kind of instructions or idea behind the cushion is that you take this sponge here and you firmly but gently press it in to the cushion, and you will pick up some foundation, somewhat like that. And you want to be careful because you don't want to squeeze a whole bunch of foundation out. I know that this is going to be too dark for me, but we're going to play with it and see if we can make it work, just because I really want to try the foundation out. So I'm just going to kind of pat this on. And like I did a little bit of research on these sorts of foundations, and people said that the best way to apply them was in very fast kind of stamping motions. So that is what I am trying to do. I'm just going to work in small areas of my face at once and then kind of work my way around. And I am going to take it up onto my eyelids and through my eyebrows because I always put foundation through my eyebrows and then set them before I do them. So right off the bat, this feels so nice, and you can see I've used up the foundation, so I'm just going to take a little bit more. It's super cooling, which is interesting. I don't know if it's the sponge or the cushion or what, but it feels really refreshing to apply it. And it feels really nice and moisturizing. Like, it's a very kind of wet feeling, but it's not a wet, super liquidy foundation. It kind of has a tackiness that it sticks to your skin nicely, so it's not sliding all over the place, which is good. And it gives a gorgeous glow. Right off the bat, you can see that it gives a beautiful glow. I actually like applying it like this. Like, it's definitely different, and it's going to take getting used to, but I kind of like this because it feels like I am firmly pushing the product into my skin. So it feels like it's going to be well blended and well infused into my skin instead of just sitting on top, which is one of my main things with foundation. I really like to make sure that they go into my skin. So that is one layer, and I would say this is definitely like a light, maybe to medium coverage foundation. The shade difference is obviously playing a little bit of a role in how much coverage it gives because it is a completely different color than my natural skin tone. But it's definitely a light to medium. I'm going to apply a second layer to see if I can build on it. But first I'm just going to go around and make sure that I do down onto my neck and my ears and all my hairline and stuff, just to make sure that it looks as natural as possible. Okay, so I'm going to take a second layer, and I'm going to take about the same amount of foundation as I did the first time, and I'm just going to press it into the areas that need a little bit more coverage. Just basically for me, my T-zone, so around my mouth and my nose, because that's where I get redness, and just kind of going up into my cheeks and my forehead as well, because I have a lot of freckles up there and I am not too fond of them showing through. Overall, you can see now that I have 2 layers on that it is definitely buildable. I definitely added a little bit more coverage around the redness of my mouth and my nose, and it covered it a little bit better, which is really nice. So you can build it and make it more of a medium coverage foundation from the light sort of spectrum, which is really great because there are days where we want to have a very nice natural light coverage, and then there are days where you want to amp it up a little bit. And so far, the formula of the foundation I find is really, really nice. It feels really nice on. It is kind of very nourishing and very moisturizing, but so far I love it. I think it's a gorgeous luminous finish. Like, you really can see, like, I am glowing to the heavens, and it is stunning. So for my dry skin girls, you will love this. For those oily skin girls out there, you might not. You might want to maybe pass on this, or we'll see. I'm going to try and mattify it a little tiny bit just under the eyes, just to see if we can take a little bit of the glow out. But at this point, I think it might be a little bit too much glow for someone with an oily complexion. But for us dry skin girls, this is heaven sent. I am now going to apply the rest of my makeup, and I will be back. L'Oreal says that this will give you natural, luminous, air-light coverage. So it's meant to be a very kind of dewy, glowy, very natural foundation that looks like skin, but kind of amps it up a little bit and makes you look really healthy and natural. The foundation itself is very pigmented. It delivers a kind of light to medium coverage, but each sort of press of the foundation into your skin delivers a lot of pigment in each little one. And I actually wrote down how L'Oreal describes the cushion and the pigment that's within it, so I thought I would share that with you. So they say it's their micro aerated cushion is drenched with water and robe pigments, delivering a liquid foundation that glides onto skin effortlessly. I definitely do agree with that. It does glide on effortlessly, it's super easy to apply, and it gives a really gorgeous finish. So I think that it's really fantastic, and I really like the kind of concept behind this. It's very strange and very unusual and kind of something that you have to get used to, but it is really kind of fun to apply, so that is a bonus. It does take longer than maybe your typical foundation because you are actively pushing each thing into your skin, but I think it's worth it because it's fun and you get this really gorgeous luminous finish. Overall, I really think that the L'Oreal Lumi cushion is a really fun new product that you should definitely go out and try. It's so interesting to kind of test out the Asian trends in a really fun, kind of affordable way, because it's much more affordable than other versions. It does give you a beautiful finish. It is natural and really glowy and dewy and just kind of brightens your face up, and it really is gorgeous. It's very natural. There's no problems with dryness or cakiness or anything sticking. It is a beautiful foundation and I'm really happy with it. So stay tuned for a full review on my blog, and I will make sure to link that when it is up. But for now, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!